games frequently use the deceased as a form of environmental storytelling. And they say dead men tell no tales. When exploring treacherous dungeons or apocalyptic wastelands, you'll often uncover skeletons or corpses in compromising positions, alongside revealing diary entries or contextual clues, offering some clarity as to how they met their end. Take this chap in Fallout 3. He died doing what he loved. A desk fan, apparently. But there are other, even unluckier video game cadavers with embarrassing backstories, immortalised for our comedic enjoyment. Behold these 7 and beware spoilers for the following.
So this is it. I'm home. There's the same fading carpet. The same tasteless art. Nothing's changed. The gods. Everything feels different.
In Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3, your vampire companion Astarion can finally get revenge on his former master, Cazador Szarr. Though, if I'm honest, breaking into the palace of a bloodthirsty vampire lord feels pretty risky, so I propose we egg his house from a safe distance.
Well, I was thinking first we find Cazador and then we kill Cazador. That's about it, really.
What? I've already bought a 12-pack of eggs! Once you sneak inside the vampire lair, you'll eventually come across the Chamberlain's Suite, which belongs to Cazador's loyal servant, Antoine de Fay.
That's curious.
Sorry, I mean belonged to Antoine de Fay. You'll find Antoine's lifeless body in a casket inside the room, but if you read the diary under his bed, you'll discover that much like my childhood hamster, he's not actually dead, just sleeping. Oh no, wait, he is actually dead. Turns out vampire spawn Antoine discovered that he was going to be lethally sacrificed for Cazador's ascendancy ritual. To avoid that, he decided to fake his demise with a mysterious sleeping elixir that produces the illusion of death. Clearly, he intended to wake up once the whole scary vampire ascension thing had blown over. But to make it even more convincing, Antoine also kept a very real bottle of poison in his bedroom, which is now alarmingly empty. Of course, Antoine chugged the wrong vial like an absolute idiot sandwich, so now he's not fake dead, he's dead. And what's even more tragic is that his werewolf lover, Luriana, discovered his body and drank a bottle of poison too, in a kind of Twilight meets Romeo and Juliet mashup.
Whatever killed this werewolf burned it up from the inside. Its throat and innards are more liquid than solid.
The least we can do for these star-crossed lovers is reunite their corpses in death. It was more romantic in my head. Oh well.
Whoa. Oh no, you don't.
Me and Murkies just need to find their happy place.
Mirelurks are giant mutated crustaceans that bisect wasteland inhabitants on sight with their gnarly pincers. In short, do not pet. But in Fallout 4, animal lover Rory Rigwell saw them less as beasties and more as besties. So much so that he began raising and training a colony of Mirelurks at the Irish Pride Industries shipyard. He affectionately refers to these terrifying monsters as his little Murkies.
Always remember, Rory loves his little Murkies.
When you first venture into the shipyard, you'll discover Rory is pumping positive affirmations through a PA system in an attempt to pacify the Murkies into doing less giant claw murdering, which, while well-intentioned, is probably winding them up more, to be honest. There's also no sign of Rory himself. Is he hanging out in a Mirelurk enclosure, clipping some giant pincers? Maybe it's feeding time. Ah, it really is feeding time. In a dark twist that absolutely everyone saw coming, poor Rory got mauled by his precious little Murkies, despite one of his announcement messages specifically stating,
Remember, Rory's legs are not for pinching.
wow, I can't believe that didn't work. Exploring the shipyard further will reveal the full extent of Rory's ill-advised conservation programme. There's a terminal that details his breeding efforts and how he's had a few close shaves during feeding time already. Yikes! As the wasteland is such a violent place, you could almost admire Rory's blind optimism for harmony between humans and creepy lobster bugs. But as our companion Kate so delicately puts it,
This idiot got what was coming to him.
fair point, no notes.
Officer Ja, this is Chief Elazar.
Ja here, Chief. How can I help you?
I need you to report to Deep Storage and get Chief Show to reactivate the tracker on Grant Lockwood. HR deactivated it as part of the termination, but we don't have a record of him on the departing shuttle. I want to know where he is and escort him where he needs to go.
On it, Chief.
2017 sci-fi horror Prey is the reason I have a crippling fear of trash cans. I'm never taking the trash out again.
You never do!
And this is why! The shape-shifting nightmares known as mimics are definitely a bad time, but there are plenty of other ways to die horribly in space. Such was the case for Grant Lockwood, who, by the time the events of Prey take place, has shuffled, or rather floated ominously, off this mortal coil. Hey, at least he didn't get got by a trash can. Grant's backstory is pretty wild. We discover via a recorded message from Chief Elazar that he was actually fired earlier the same day he died. And thanks to an audio log reassuringly titled Container Docking for Dummies, we might have some idea why.
Hey, Jessica, got a minute?
It's my day off.
Yeah, but can you run me through the container docking procedure again? I missed the training session.
Ugh, Grant.
Please, if I ask Gus again, he'll lose his mind.
That sounds like a you problem, Grant. So after Grant was fired for incompetence, he was scheduled to depart the station on a shuttle bound for Earth, which, based on his track record for punctuality, we assume he missed. That is going to be a very expensive Uber home. What's more, Grant's body is way out in space, beyond the rings that orbit the station. Was Grant seriously trying to jetpack all the way back to Earth by himself? Classic Grant. Heading that far out to locate Grant's remains even causes protagonist Morgan to take radiation damage, suggesting that radiation, rather than running out of oxygen, might have been his true cause of death.
Radiation poisoning detected. Seek medical attention.
The plot thickens even more when you loot Grant's body and realise the disgruntled employee had stolen company property in his suitcase. He'd stashed a neuromod and a chipset before making his daring escape, only to make it less than a mile before being cooked in his suit like a baked potato. On second thoughts, might take my chances with the trash can.
Bonjour, mes amis.
Hey, bonjour mon ami. CL? What? I don't know. He seems nice.
In Clair Obscure, your party is on a quest to defeat the Paintress, a malevolent being who can erase human life with a simple brushstroke. Imagine Bob Ross if he was also Thanos. Just lots of happy little accidents. During your journey across the continent, you'll discover audio logs left behind by fallen members of previous expeditions.
Learn from the ones who came before.
And lay the trail for the ones who come after.
Some had bold ideas like stealing airships or disguising themselves as Nevrons. Many died in heroic battles, ended up killing each other, or simply ran out of time before the Paintress vaporized them. But one group, well, listen to the final words of Marcel from Expedition 66.
Damn it all, I should never have trusted a giant talking marshmallow. Great, and now I'm losing consciousness.
Wow, lot to unpack there. For context, the giant talking marshmallow Marcel describes is Esier, a lovable being your party befriends during their journey. And when I say lovable, I mean, oh my god, I would literally die for this big squishy goofball, he's simply too pure for this world.
I too am. But I'm also wee. So the wee balances the.
Protector's gear, of course. Turns out this big silly goose somehow let Marcel and his crew consume poisonous fungi. Because, as the journal explains, according to Esier, Esier's friend ate them with no problem. Esier, however, hadn't factored in that the friend in question was immortal, for story reasons we won't get into here.
That's the sort of extremely relevant detail that you should mention at the start. Oh, stop crying. You're not the one about to die.
And so this courageous expedition, which was designed to be the last line of defence against the almighty paintress, failed because they scoffed a bunch of funky mushrooms and puked their guts out beside a big sobbing beanbag.
Can't believe this is the end of our expedition. We've learned nothing and achieved nothing, and we're not even leaving anything useful for future expeditions.
Oh, that's not true. We needed a good laugh.
Unseen, unheard.
Avowed is a fantasy RPG that can be played in both first and third person, depending on how close you want to get to this thing. Third person's fine, thanks. And it's not just giant spiders out for your blood in the realm of Eora. The early game is somewhat overrun with bloodthirsty bears. Seriously, like a lot of bears. Even PC Gamer wrote an article questioning the sheer abundance of bears. And while going about our business, we stumbled upon this unfortunate fellow who'd recently been mauled by, any guesses? A dragon. Ha! No, it was a bear. On his body is a hazing note which reads, "Welcome to the club. Your first job is to bring us a bear egg. Don't come back until you do." Reminds me of that time Andy sent me to the shop for a long wait. 3 weeks I was there. The word idiot has been scrawled underneath and then scratched out. It's not clear if idiot was written by the mean jerks who put him up to this impossible task, or whether he did, the moment he realised, soaked in his own blood, that bears are in fact mammals. Surely you figured that out by now. Your world is literally wall-to-wall bears. Needless to say, not only did this poor, gullible lad kick the bucket for trying to get in with the cool kids, the fact he got humiliatingly punked is now on full display to all passers-by. Mainly bears, in my experience.
Kill the Witcher! Kill the Witcher!
The Witcher series certainly has a twisted sense of humour. Why else would a drunk soldier in a brothel be singing a lewd version of the Sesame Street theme song?
Sunny days, sweeping the pants away, on my way to get some sweet.
That's my childhood ruined. One hilariously dark moment worthy of this list can be found in the prologue of The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings, when Geralt stumbles across a dead dude in a white robe, splayed in the remains of a shattered hay cart like a squashed fly on a car windscreen. It could have been old age? Alas, fans of another popular action-adventure series will immediately get the reference. The Witcher is satirically poking fun at the Assassin's Creed franchise, implying that one of the titular assassins has taken the series' trademark leap of faith and royally f***ed it up. For starters, the cloak is similar to that of Altair from the first game, their hay cart is often the supposedly safe landing place in the Creed games, and to twist the knife in further, Geralt gets the assassin ability just for standing around being judgy.
Guess they'll never learn.
How many dead assassins have you seen, Geralt? Does this happen a lot? If you look up, you can even spot the ledge where this leap of fail took place, and to make things even more embarrassing, it's not even that high, at least not in comparison to some of the mighty swan dives seen in the Assassin's Creed games. And The Witcher is so real for this, because this is exactly what would genuinely happen if you tried launching yourself into a soft pile of hay from the top of a bloody church spire. Although, if this series is so keen on realism, how come a guy is singing a parody of the Sesame Street theme? Does Sesame Street exist in this universe? Is Geralt duty-bound to slay the Cookie Monster? I have so many questions.
Bethesda are masters of the storytelling skeleton. The corpses you find in the Fallout or Elder Scrolls series often tell an elaborate tale of their final moments on this earth. and some final moments are a bit kinkier than others. Man, I bet the nuclear bombs really killed the mood. Another unfortunate soul whose death occurred during a somewhat intimate moment was Lucky Lorenz from Skyrim, who was crushed to death when a tree fell on his shack. The irony of his name being Lucky would have been the only thing that raised a smile from players if they hadn't also discovered a copy of the lusty Argonian maid lying right next to his body. Hey, more like Lusty Lorenz, am I right? It seems not so lucky Lorenz was killed by the falling timber while enjoying some alone time with a raunchy novel about a sexy reptile servant lady trying innocently to clean her master's chambers. That's right, this is an Argonian.
Need something?
I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum, especially a dead guy, so let's just leave it at that. Lucky Lorenz's death would have been totally unremarkable were it not for the fact that he was clearly engrossed in 50 scales of grey before he died, and so now he's a laughingstock on Skyrim forums the world over. There's also a shrine of the goddess Dibella in the opposite corner of Lucky's shack, so maybe this deity wasn't too thrilled about him having a private moment in close proximity to her holy altar. Still, crushing every bone in his body with a tree? Bit harsh, Dibella. Thanks for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe and...
Sorry, I blinked. Sorry.
She's alive! Thanks for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe down here if you enjoyed it. Hi. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And we've got some videos, actually. One up here from Outside Xtra and one down here from Outside Xbox. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.